Hi guys, welcome back to History Help for You. Today we're going to be talking about Henry VIII's religion. Please do note that this is, well, it is a big part. There is not really much to talk about in the aspect that we're only really going to go through like the main bits, so like the break with Rome, the pilgrimage of grace, which is then caused by the dissolution of the monasteries. So the break with Rome was created due to Henry VIII wanting to divorce Catherine of Aragon. She had not provided him a son, and he wanted to marry Anne Boleyn, who he'd become attracted to, and she'd become more influential. But Catherine had already been married to Henry's brother, Prince Arthur, and the Pope's like, I'm not gonna let you have a divorce. You were lucky I let you get married in the first place. They tried using Leviticus chapter 20 verse 21 as mentioned in the government video. It didn't work, and then Cromwell said, why don't we just get rid of Rome entirely? And so now it was just the Church of England. Henry was the supreme head of it under the Act of Supremacy in 1534. This was also reinforced in the Act in Restraint of Appeals, the Act of Succession, and the Treason Act. The dissolution of the monasteries happened from 1536 to 41, and it was essentially a mix of administrative and legal processes. So it's not necessarily people going out, locating a monastery and digging it up or just breaking it up into pieces. There was a lot of legal processes they had to go through. It's not as simple. That's probably why it took about 5 years. The whole point of it was to collect the wealth they had. So monasteries were quite rich, possessed a lot of wealth, and by dissolving them, Henry had more money. To make sure that Henry was essentially getting the most out of his money, he had to find out how much land was owned by the church. So the Valor Ecclesiasticus was introduced, and Henry essentially wanted to take any church land which had previously been owned by the church in Rome. He wanted to take it and sell it off. I'm like, well, they've not got any influence now. They're not in charge. I, as a king, am in charge. So now I'm going to take all this land and sell it off. So I'm more rich. I mean, it's fair enough. In 1536, under the Act of Suppression, small monasteries with an income of less than £200 per annum, so per year, they were all closed. And in 1539, under the Second Act of Suppression, larger monasteries and religious houses were dissolved and sold off. The small monasteries in particular fueled what we see now as the Pilgrimage of Grace, which happened in 1536. As I said, mainly motivated by the dissolution of the monasteries and also social economic discontent. There was a large army of 30,000 marching to York, and they demanded a monastic reopening. What I am going to say is this is also like hand in hand with the Lincolnshire Rising, which had happened. I think that was about midway through. It was not very big, but it was still a part of it. It was the Pilgrimage of Grace in itself, 30,000 people. It was the largest rebellion within the entire Tudor period, and there was participation from all three major classes, so the nobility, the gentry, and the commoners. But it was easily crushed, and to essentially resolve it, all the rebels were promised a pardon. Like, okay, so I know you tried rebelling, but I'm gonna be nice, son. I'll let you all go free. This was not the case. Henry arrested the leaders, and 200 rebels were later executed. So there's not really much to talk about in that depth of religion, because most of it seems to happen like it's about 10 years probably. Okay, thanks guys. I'll see you in the next video. Bye bye.